Welcome to the Corner Bread Studio live stream. Let me. Oh shit, the render is done. Okay, let me just show you something off topic again, as usual. Oh, it's so annoying. Why is everything always. Okay, let me. I need to learn how to bring in image sequence in DaVinci. I hope this is correct. I just finished my script for a Blender-ish tutorial, like a very simple one. What do I want to do? And I was thinking that I should. That looks nice, I think. That I should do a render for it. I don't know why the plane decided to fly over today. All today has been quiet right until I stream. So yeah, I think this is good. Although like one of the tripod legs kind of blocking my view. But I think this is good. So let me let's see. I'm going to sculpt some flowers for Frieren today. It's partly from, okay, let me save this. It's partly from went to Japan the end of last year, and there was a pop-up for the Frieren. Okay, let me just hit render first. Oh yeah, I need to change the. Almost forgot. Let me see, render. Actually, this render is not too bad. Maybe I just do this. Okay. And then make it bigger. Let's use A4. Okay. Everything is a mess. So I will set this to render. I rendered like every 4 frames to test out the animation, and there's total 72 frames rendered with like a smaller resolution size. And since it's working, I'm going to let this run in the background as I sculpt. It's quite exciting to see it in motion. The tutorial will be about bringing curvature into Blender, like over Blender renders, because like there's this curvature thing in Nomad Sculpt. Let me just do this. There's this curvature. I think you can see it more in like these sharp areas. And I was figuring out how to do it because I really like. Let me just. Because I really like the look of it on. Oh my god. I really like the look of it on this. You can see with and without curvature. This is without, and this is with. So yeah, like it took me a day of like really roundabout, like on and off, figuring things out and all that stuff. And yeah, I just thought that it would be cool to make a short tutorial on about this, because it's also like I feel like I'm kind of what's it, leaning towards making videos that have like easy concepts, because I think subconsciously I feel like I'm not really that great at making videos, so I need to find like progressive overload for making videos, and I think this curvature thing is pretty good for another video, like the next tutorial video. So yeah, while that runs in the background, let's make some flowers. I'm kind of making this for, so like I've like, wait, is it 5? 1, 2. Somehow I got confused. So I have a few nephews and nieces, and I've already made some like their favorite characters as a sculpt for their birthdays last year. And then the oldest one, I only started sculpting the birthday cards like afterwards, which is like these. Where was it? Where are you? Like this one. So like I started making this, or like I started having the confidence to make them after, or I guess like the idea to make them after the oldest birthday. So this year I just want to finish it up, and yeah, just like finish up with this because he likes Frieren, which is so cool. I'm like, yes, like it's good that you like Frieren. And yeah, just want to add some flowers. I'm not really sure whether or not I have time to do this exact thing. So I went to Japan end of last year, and he found out about this pop-up thing. We went too late, everything was sold out, so I think I will try and do something like this, but I'm not really sure, like I don't really want to spend too much time on it too. So yeah, but I think I definitely want to put the flowers around, so I'm going to make a flower for this sculpt. I'm not really sure whether I want to change the hair. I feel like not really, so let's just see what I can do with this. And let me hide this. Something like this. I like to impart a cornbread tip of the day for every live stream. Let me show you how to make a flower with repeaters. I've done this a few times. Let me try to remember. I've been doing too much Blender and Procreate in the past 2 weeks, I think. So Nomad is a little bit. Repeat this. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to create a flower at this point. I'll create one over here, and then let's add a quartz spear. Probably something like this. I'm not gonna follow exactly, but I like the colors of it. And I think this should be a bit more blue, huh? Let me try. Okay, I guess it's fine. So I'll show you how to do the flowers with this. I'll just validate this, use my usual dynamic topology. Okay, dynamic topology. Let me go down to 40%. And I will flatten this, rotate this like this, and maybe bring it in a bit like that. I guess like a fall flower petal thing would be quite cute. And then I'll just push this out, rotate this a little bit like this, go in. This way it'll create this like radial overlap if you rotate a little bit this way. And depending on how much you rotate this, it really changes the way that the flower looks. I'm not sure what I want to do, like a 5. And then with the radial repeater, you can change the number of like petals very easily. The 5 looks cute. I guess I'll do 5. Something like this. And because there's like a white layer and a blue layer, you can choose to paint like a blue layer on top or the white below. But I think in this case I want to create like 2 different layers, so I can duplicate this whole setup and then rotate the what's this thing called? Rotate the radial a little bit just to offset the thing. I'll paint this. Let me paint this blue. And let's move this inwards a little bit. I want to make it a little bit easier to adjust this, so I'll move the gizmo point down like so. And this way I can adjust the petals easily. So I can scale this down, or I can so I can do something like this. I can also just close the gap up in the center piece. And then do something like this. Not sure whether I want to make it a little bit narrower for the inside. Maybe a little bit wider on the outside. Just like widen this up. And now I will create some ridges for this. So let's make it a little bit thinner using the drag tool to adjust. Wait, should I be? No, I guess it's fine. I was wondering whether I should use symmetry, but maybe I don't need to. But I can also use this to make it a bit thinner. I can also use the brush tool. I can also use the brush tool to make it a little bit thinner, like this. So let's just eat into this a little bit, and now I can use like a 100% to smooth these things out so that it's not so rough. The nice thing about using dynamic topology is that on thin edges, like there's this like irregular, like what is it called? The thin edges disappears quite fast, and sometimes there's like this nice effect of creating unevenness in it, which for like super organic things is very useful. Just like gets things done very fast. And then I'm just going with the crease brush and like going in and out, and this way I can create these organic petal ridges. I'll do the same thing for this one. And just using the drag tool to make it bigger if I need to. Then adjust these finer shapes. And that is the flower pretty much done. I can end the stream now. I feel like I want to match up the roundness of this. And there's like many different ways to do it. You can also like clone this one and do the same. Oops. Wait, why can't I? So something like this, and then I can set this to like 4 or something. I can set this to 4, and that will create like a very different type of flowers too. I think in this case I'll just stick with this first, and then let me group everything together to create like a nice flower group, just to neaten things up. Let's rename these. can see that because I was adjusting the flower petals, they kind of move further and further away from the radial repeater. So I like to use the gizmo tool and setting this the target to object. This only moves like the selected object instead of moving like the parent and the child objects. So that's pretty nice. Actually, I should just move these two together. Can I do that? Maybe not. So I just move these up like that. The flower group too. So it's a good practice to adjust these as the sculpt goes well. Because the back side is quite exposed, we should also draw on this one. Also adjust the shape of this. Can also create like some sort of texture maybe. Because they're all repeated, so they're just going to look the same for now. Let me just turn this outward a little bit. Something like this. And now I will, she's looking a little bit. I just noticed that there's a symmetry. Where's the symmetry on? Okay, so that is done. Let's add some of these yellow stuff. Although I should cover this bottom side too. And then just use like a higher percentage dynamic topology to create a cleaner look. Maybe I should bring this down a little bit. I guess for these I should just create the spear. So let's make it super tiny, I think. And then, do I want to use tubes? Or do I just want to like, let me see. Maybe I should just use no. Thanks. Maybe I should just yeah, let's just make a circle. I think that's good enough. So do something like this. What's the time? 6. Let's do something like this. And I'll instance this one, move it here, instance this, move it here. Just like random stuff. Make it a bit random. And I think that's not bad. Yeah, maybe I just use a tubes tool. Let's get a tubes tool. Tubes tool. Where? Let's paint the tubes tool. I will make it a bit thinner. I want to put it underneath the spear. So let's put this underneath the spear and extend it downwards. I like to use the B-spline for a smoother curve. And let's just adjust this from all angles. And then let's parent the tube to this. And I guess I'll instance this to these areas here to redo this. And that should be good. I feel like the material is not really not to my liking. So let's do something more like this. I think that looks nicer. And I can paint in a little, like tiny bit of shadow. Maybe some highlights. Darken the bottom side of the petals. The other side too. Let's fix the intersection a bit. Actually, this is quite cute, the way that it intersects like that. So I will do this. I always like to add a little bit of the neighboring colors too. So let me. Do I want this material? Maybe I should. Use the same material. So I like to paint a little bit of the neighboring colors to the other side. Something like this. It just helps to integrate things a little bit better. Like super light. So something like this. And then I want to create like a string. So I'm not really sure like what kind of design I want to do yet, but I can just add this curve repeater. Maybe I should group this first. The curve repeater should be on this. So curve repeater on the flower bit, and maybe I'll make it. I'm kind of wondering, like, do I make it go around first? I think. Although before that, I want to make sure that I have a backup flower over here, and then height this up. Let's create. I don't have much time. Do something like this. I'll rotate this flower like this. And just increase the count. I think. Yeah, so I guess I'm not imagining it. The curve repeater is doing like there was one time when I was showing my other sculpt using curve repeater, and then something seems to break. I feel like it's doing the same thing. Oh man. Is it? Because I can't see the curve now. What is going on? So I just saved this. Let me reopen this again. Oh. Yeah, so I guess hello Rock 3D Design, hello again, and welcome to the stream, Jonathan Kula. Cell 934. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Because of my Blender screen right now, like my OBS chat is like on the right side, so it's a bit out of view. Yeah, I feel like the curve repeater is doing something weird. Like, this is not the first time that it happened. I feel like if I've been... Yeah, what's going on? Like, why is it hiding my stuff? I don't understand. And, oh, thanks for watching the Usagi live stream. And I'm glad that it was helpful to you. And yeah, I hope that you can make a lot of Chikawa, cute Chikawa stuff. Oh my god, why is this? Yeah, things are a bit weird with the curve repeater. So anyway, this is one of the ideas, like to create this this thing. I guess it's good that I can make more than one flowers with this. But one of the issues is that yeah, I don't know why the curve repeater is acting like that. Yeah, I had so much fun doing the Usagi live stream. I feel like with that live stream, like I've kind of like leveled up a bit, because I would think that a year ago I wouldn't be able to like explain my process of making that Q style sculpt on the go. What's this? So yeah, proud of my very, very small improvements. Is it doing that weird thing again? Oh no, okay, no, it's not. But this is one of the thing. I can also try to do something like this. I feel like I want to okay, maybe I'll just clone this up. Let me show you how to do like a different kind of... Why are you doing this? Why is it hiding my stuff? I don't understand. Okay. Am I doing something stupid? So with this one, we can do something like this. Make it like go into the hair, go out like this. It might look a bit complicated, but it's really just about fixing like the points at one angle and then rotating it around to fix it at another angle. And eventually everything will kind of like average out. And with this, I can reduce the count. And I'm trying to make something like this. So not too many of this. And let's use the twist, maybe? I don't know. Am I doing this right? Then adjust this one. Let's move this one a bit downwards, like this. And then this one is a bit hidden. I can also randomize the... What do I want to randomize? Actually, no, maybe not. And then I'll just move this along here. I'm not really sure whether or not this is doing what I want. Although sometimes it's just easier to just like get it, move it around by hand. I don't know whether this is a good idea. It's not doing what I want it to do. Yeah, maybe it's not working. Maybe it's just easier to... Let's backtrack this, let's delete this. So I'll instance this and just... I'll instance the whole flower group, and let's just do this by hand. Yeah, that's a lot easier. Sometimes manual work is like the best way. And before I go, I will try... Yep, I really need to go soon. Before I go, I'll try to... Let's make this smaller. I'll try to add the leaf part, and then let's make it... I have this flower base that I like to create this kind of base shape, so you can see like it affects everything else. Actually, that looks quite cool. Wait. Like, you don't have to follow the reference exactly, just do wherever it looks nice. So I like to have this base shape where it's in the center of this scene like this. If I look at the grid lines, it's like they're all centered, and it's just a lot easier to manipulate things this way. So if you want to make like adjustments to how like tall the petals are, it's just a lot easier to look at it this way than to look at it somewhere over here. And because they are all instances, so wherever I adjust over here will be affected on the other areas. Actually, this one's a little bit too round, I think. Maybe something like that is cute. So I'll use this as like what's that thing called? Like a location for my new quartz spear for the leaves. I'll bring this up, I'll flatten this up. Let's make it this way. Something like this. Validate this. Use dynamic topology. I'm not sure whether I want this to be symmetrical. Maybe just to make it faster. Make sure that working with the right resolution. And when I say like right resolution, it just means whichever that makes sculpting easier for you, for me. So something like this. I can use the operation tool to make it a little bit thinner like that. That's just a really fast way to make things thin. And then let's make the ends a little bit rounded like this. I'll set the color to something like this. And then same thing of doing like in and out of the mesh to create the shapes. Just making sure that smooth doesn't destroy all the crease marks and stuff. And I'm going to make it a little bit wider like this. I can make like this. Actually, I'm not sure whether I want to add the stock to this. Something like this. And then let's check the other side. Looks like shit. That's kind of like the downside of working with very thin meshes. But I think I can try use like the front. There's this thing called the two-sided thing in the settings. So it can try to avoid sculpting on the other side, I think. I guess it's not working, it's fine. Oh my god, this is so difficult too. Okay, let me just do this properly. So the two-sided thing, maybe I just like sculpt outwards, maybe. Yeah, it's working now. So using the two-sided whatever thing that is to avoid the back face. I'm gonna do this again. So the back side is fine. And then using the same painting thing, I'm going to use like a very bright color. Just to, I don't know, create something. I feel like you just messed it up. Oh, stupid, everything is so messed up. I'm just going to like do this. Hopefully it is less messed up like this. There's so many ways to save your sculpt, and I think this is one of the ways that you can't save your sculpt. Well, I can just always like improve on it in another time. So from far it looks fine as usual. So I'm going to put it at the side of the, oh wait, I need to fix the position of the gizmo again. And let's move this over here. I will try to make that flick upwards a little bit. Oh my god, running out of time. So flick upwards like this. Or do I want to make it more aesthetic? And then, oh shit. And then I'll make an instance of this and move it to the first point. Let me show you how to instance this one too. I mean, I'll use a curve repeater for this. So something like this. Oh my god, running out of time, and that's why I'm like making shitty adjustments. Okay, done. And then I'm going to duplicate this curve, just the curve. So clone this, clone the curve repeater that I was using for the flower petals. Where is my leaf? Oh, I forgot to rename it. And now everything kind of looks very similar to this. And I will reduce the count, and if I want to flip it, can I randomize the oh wait, I can duplicate instance this again and rotate it downward like this, and then reduce. Oh wait, no, I should duplicate this and then set like a different counting. Maybe this is like one of the other things where like using the manual placement is a lot better. Like the idea was to use the rotation thing, but I forgot that it doesn't randomize the rotation based on the pivot of the object. So everything's manual again. But hey, sometimes it's good to try things out and fail at it so that you remember not to do that. I should have renamed this first. I need to go like really soon. Something like this. And I'll put one more here. And that is, wait, did I not? Okay, that's good. And that is the flower stuff done. Thank you for tuning to the stream. I'm glad I could do some significant progress with this. Let's move this up a little bit more. And I hope that this is helpful to you too. Let me put this here. So yeah, thanks for tuning into the stream. I hope that you like this, and I hope that you can create some beautiful flowers for your own sculpt. Like plants are so pretty. I feel like everyone should try making plants like at some point. It's so pretty. Okay, I'll see you guys.